Good morning, Sridhar, Dr. Sridhar. Welcome to this interview session. So I
Thank you.
just do the little bit of an introduction, then we'll move on to that.
Sure.
This is me, Ram Ramkrishnan, the Managing Director of GenSource India Private Limited, and a business direction designer and a coach. And we do this business direction services through our organization, which has got about 350 plus years of person years of collective experience in providing services in the areas of process excellence, people development, technology implementation, innovation modeling, knowledge management, business finance, corporate real estate, and facilities. More details about our organization can be accessed through www.gensource.in. So it's my pleasure to introduce Dr. Sridhar Raghavendra, melomaniac, corporate executive, author, mentor, coach, speaker, evangelist, golfer, for accepting to be part of this interview series to share his views on are we looking for real-time transformation. So a little bit about Dr. Sridhar is a pragmatic, creative thinking, facilities management and corporate real estate professional driven by passion, enabling to succeed, gives him joy. A reason for being in business enabler role, according to him, is belief that facilities management and corporate real estate can create positive impact and drive change by building brand, culture, and innovative solutions enabling CRE and FM decision intelligent, data and technology driven, harness innovation in business enabling practices and help business succeed. Having leadership experience in MNC and top Indian companies in the areas of facilities management, corporate real estate, workplace solution, administration, operation, engineering services, transformation, program management, project planning, project management, communication, EHS sustainability, procurement, P&L, and cost management. I know any area he is an expert. One of the thing is, it's my pleasure. I have been interacting with him for more than a couple of decades. It is now, I think, yeah, a
Yeah.
decade.
I know. I think you are much senior in the industry, so it's good to talk to you, and thanks for inviting
Yeah,
me to
yeah,
your
yeah.
discussion. So it's my
Yes.
pleasure.
So let us look at today on the topic of are we looking for real-time transformation? I know, Dr. Sridhar, I think COVID-19 has really given a lot of tough lessons and tough time to the people. For businesses to survive, what needs to be done according to you? What they should start doing? Yeah.
Yeah, I think as you rightly said, we are all combating unprecedented, challenge for with this COVID-19, and the pandemic has challenged globally, not only in terms of the business ecosystem but also in our personal life. So, from an organization point of view, if you look at what needs to be focused, what how it needs to be taken up, I think there are multiple things in terms of how we can look at the future of workplace, in this COVID or in the pandemic world. The first thing is that we need to analyze, where we are going to work. That is number one. Number two is how we are going to work.
Mhm.
And number three is build and organize a team, right? So these are the three potential, a model that we need to look at from the way forward, from a future workplace point of view. So the most important thing is that in terms of empowering, decision making, to the workforce is number one, which is going to play a bigger role because that is where the knowledge that comes on the table, and that is where the ideas and ideations comes on the table. So from a collaborative methodology perspective, it is very very important that organization or individual or leadership harness the leadership of ideas rather than the
Mhm.
leadership of hierarchy,
Right.
which is very very important at this point of time, because every optic of ideas that comes on the table is will drive the future to will drive the organization its chosen future in this pandemic. So
Right.
which is very very critical, taking collectively and moving forward as an organization with the ideas and with the preparedness is what is more important. And it depends upon how soon we can shift to the normal with
Mm.
all the optics that we have, with all the systems and tools, with all the preparedness. I mean, it depends upon what is the speed, what is the agility, what is the resilience that we bring in to shift to the normal, even though it is a new normal, but the ecosystem needs to be as a normal. So that is going to be one of the critical aspect, as part of the strategic, thinking goes in terms of rebooting the business, in this current environment. Uh, and the most important thing is that, I would say it is asynchronization of collaboration methods, which is very, very critical because it is very important to use the right tool to understand the pulse, and also creating that awareness communication within the business environment is what is going to be one of the key drivers, to look at how the future of workplace, in this pandemic scenario will look at, because collaboration today is one of the key things as part of the business ecosystem. The whole world is moving around on the collaboration, working from home, and multiple collaboration. So synchronization of collaboration methodologies are the key thing, as one of the key drivers. Uh, the most important out of all this thing is that what is that social, environmental, health, safety, commitment that as an organization,
Mm.
builds in as part of the pyramid sign. So, and today in this pandemic world, a new concept of work science that has come in, so
Mm.
which is already existing, and there are multiple organizations, especially the startup ecosystem, is working on coming up with different products, different process, policies, tools, and system around the work science is going to, which is going to be the next uh, business critical, in the ecosystem. So these are some of the things that will play a bigger role, and which is going to be a key business driver as part of the way forward, in this COVID-19, as a future of workplace.
Thanks, thanks. That's a great input. And also, many believe that growth in the future will come through some kind of real-time transformation. What are your thoughts and views on that?
Yeah. Again, I would rather put it in around about
Mm.
6 to 7 stacks. I
Mm.
mean, how the real-time transformation will happen, or which companies will start working around on real-time transformation. One is obviously shifting to the normal, to make sure that you fuel the engine to to calibrate the momentum, as part of the business model is concerned. That is number one. Number two, accelerating business,
Mm.
right? So how do we reboot business priorities in an organization becomes very, very critical. So there, the concept of meta comes in, right?
Mm.
So mobilize, execute, right? Transform and bring in agility or acceleration.
Right.
So from a meta methodology, today I think most of the CXOs are working on, this meta methodology in terms of accelerating the business. So these accelerating business in the go to market, or the new market, or the existing market, that is going to be the focus, because rebooting is what is required. Uh, the most important aspect is that unlocking your modern workforce in this pandemic environment, right? That is going to be the key, because there is so much of psychological impact, the thought process that is going in terms of the workforce is concerned. So unlocking the modern workforce is going to be the key, right? And creating, getting away, working on the lean concept, and making sure that we harness more leaders, within the modern workforce, and assigning and ownership of the acceleration, is going to be the next thing that is going to be as part of the whole real-time transformation. The organizational design, right? I think the pre the post COVID the organization design, for your organizational strategy, your organizational communication strategies, your organization business models, your and rewiring the existing culture of the organization. Basically, all these things becomes very very important, and that is what which is going to drive the value as part of the business is concerned. So, organization design is going to be the next key driver. Uh, the fifth one is in terms of rationalizing the portfolio and brands,
Hmm.
right? Which is going to be the key again. I mean, how fast we can rationalize the portfolios, and how do we relook at our branding as a strategy. That is going to be the next real time transformation that is going to happen. Because the post COVID, it is not about the technology or the services or the manufacturing, but it is about the health and safety and environmental commitment of the organization in terms of the preparedness to accelerate business as an organization becomes very, very important. And rationalizing those portfolios and brands are going to be the key again, right? And this will articulate into your enterprise operation
Hmm.
excellence as well,
Right.
which is going to be, the key. This is going to lay the cash runway to the organization. This is the one which is going to trigger your pipelines, in terms of new acquisition of business or revenues, customer acquisitions, and so on and so forth. So that is going to also be the next thing that will be the key driver for the real-time transformation. Go-to-market optimization, basically, how soon you can digitize your services,
Hmm.
right? As a function, as an organization,
Right.
right? And there is going to be a convergence and paradigm shift of devices and multiple collaborative tools that will come in, and it depends upon how soon you can digitize your services as part of your go-to-market optimization. That is going to be the next focus area in terms of real-time transformation. And workplace hygiene, safety, I think that is going to be the norm of
Correct.
any organization, which is by default is going to be in your top 10 priorities as an organization. So because the vision and mission of the organization will change post COVID, uh, and the old strategies and old business models will go out of the window, and new workplace culture will come into play. HR policies will change, will get aligned to the new current aspiration, because
Right.
this is the time when probably in the last 25 30 years, this is the time that you can really bridge the individual aspiration to organizational aspiration, right?
That's true. Yeah.
Earlier, it was a huge gap between perception and expectation, but now it is going to be individual aspiration is to possess your organizational aspiration. So you're going to conduit these two big gaps, right? So that is going to be the next thing that the organization will look at in terms of real-time transformation. The most important, the last one is a value refresh, right? How fast that we can refresh our values, and how fast we can create that zero distancing. When I say zero distancing, it is more about how close you can be with your customer to accelerate business.
Right.
For a real-time transformation is going to be the whole thing.
Great. That's good. I think you also, another question I had, how organizations should prepare for this, and you partially you covered it as part of it also. They need to get in
Yeah.
many of
So
these things.
yeah, if you have to look at from in terms of preparedness, is that one obviously uh, enhancing your I would say confidence of organization preparedness to your workforce,
Yes.
right, is going to be the number one, right? And redesigning how work needs to be done, which will be the second one. The third one is whether it is going to be people to work or work to people, right, which is going to be the third key drivers. And workplace safety and normalization preparedness, which is going to be the norm, because I think every organization is working on and now doing that. And rebooting business priorities and or rebooting organization and business priority is going to be part of your preparedness strategy as such. from a change perspective. So collaborative, basically again, I would say a synchronous collaborative also comes into play at this point of time. Technology in workplace, how fast you can digitize as well, which I was talking about. It is more of correlation, calibration, and simulation of various process, policies, conduits of an organization that will come as a framework, right? And that is going to be the a clear, structured framework as part of your pyramid science that is going to come in, right? From a preparedness point of view. So, and that is the change that will drive.
Yeah, definitely, as you rightly said, the whether it is employee health and safety, personal health, and all is going to take a lot of front seat, and that requires. And also, we have to be agile. It's not something not going to be fixed. You have to. Lot of things has to be tested and done, and people
Absolutely.
have to be open and start looking at what is that they can do that. So that is great. And as far as FM industry is concerned, do you think the likely changes, the transfer, whatever some of the transformation you think that basically the FMs and FM industry will go through?
Yeah, I think the way the practices of FM professional will obviously change as per the geographical change and culture of the organization. So there is no doubt about it. There are certain old practices will take a backseat, and business or the CXOs or the top management will look at what is that new that is going to as a strategy that FM as a function will deliver to business. At the end of the day, it is how fast that the FM function can align to the new business model or new business strategy is going to be the key. And because well-being is going to be the paramount driver as part of the new FM function is going to go, because 40 to 45% of the discussion in a day-to-day from a FM point of view will always be on environmental well-being and hygiene, workplace safety, and the new workplace guidelines or a strategy. That is how but things will change because as I keep saying, now is the time that working without walls and working beyond wall is going to be actual play, right? So whatever we were discussing in 2019, but today by what do you call blessing in disguise or victim of circumstances, that has come into play, right? So how fast the FM professional can embed his practices or his strategy in the organization will be the key driver. So obviously, because today what happens is that with the new normal and the transformation that is going to happen, it is all about connecting people from wherever you are, connecting customer from wherever you are, managing asset from wherever you are, right? So that is going to be the norm, right? So when these things are there, there is a seamless workflow that needs to happen as part of the FM function. So how fast the technology in workplace get plugged in, and how fast the appetite to engineer the change in the organization from a FM professional is going to be the most critical thing of his existence in the organization to drive business for a change.
Yeah, now the outlook is changed. Earlier, people are looking at who can work from home to gone now, who can come to office, who can return to
Yeah,
office. People are
correct.
like looking at why someone has to return to office, what is it there, and that's the kind of a lens with which people are started looking at it.
Yeah, as you rightly said, Ram, I think there are two things. Remote working and work from home are two different aspects,
Correct.
right? It's a two different vertical by itself.
Correct.
So, and FM should make sure that he needs a solution for both,
Both. Yeah.
right? So he has to rewire the whole thing. He needs to conduit both the vertical,
Correct.
right? Work, remote working and work from home are two aspects to it. So how fast we can engineer the change within ourselves is what is going to drive as FM.
Correct. Correct. So there is another thing, Sridhar. One of the things is there are a lot of startups and a lot of these MSMEs are backbone of many of these things. And currently, those guys are going through real tough time. So there are IT and other things which happen, work from home, and some of the things are happening. And what are the advice to those guys, because who are all startups and or the MSMEs kind of a things?
I think it's a very good question. And just to put some data around,
Hmm.
in India, we have around about 5,000 startups today,
Yes.
right? And if you look at the data, 80% of these 5,000 are working on a bootstrap model.
Hmm.
And only 20% of these startups are funded,
Hmm.
right? And out of this 20%, only 2 or 3% is a unicorn, right? And only 30% of the funded are profitable, right?
Hmm.
And if you look from the other side, 80% of the startup which is on a bootstrap, out of that 40% are profitable,
Hmm.
right? So when you look at startups today, I think, or earlier also, any startup, whether it is a deep tech, fintech, edutech, or prop tech,
Hmm.
right? Their cash runway is not more than 3 months,
Hmm.
right? Some companies, yes, they would have created a cash runway of 6 to 7 months who can sustain. But today, I think, most of the startups do not have that runway. The cash runway is not there, right? To fuel the engine and,
Right.
and moreover, the market is such that, they are not able to collaborate with the customer as well. So uh, I would say, I think, it is very, very important for the startups to relook at its business model,
Hmm.
whether it is B2C or a B2B, whatever. But it is very, very important to uh, rework on the business model and the offerings and the services, and as far as possible, optimizing their OPEX and mapping the skill and talent of their workforce. They need to clearly, have a clear visibility in terms of who needs to be in the office and who should not be in the office, right?
Hmm.
So that is something that which every company, every startup is doing it. But more importantly is that diversifying within the existing business model that they have, and creating those cash runways in terms of the offerings and services is what is going to be the key, because any startup, 60% of their cost goes on technology development, right? Because at the end of the day, their idea and market size are the ones which determines their existence in the market.
Right.
So these two things, they need to bifurcate and what do you call it, slice dice in terms of the molecules, and start focusing on which is those 2 or 3 market that is giving them the majority of the revenue, right? And they need to focus on those market, collaborate, be with the customer, right? And uh, play that in that marketplace. That is what is very, very important, because today even funding is a challenge, whether it is a bridge funding, seed funding, or Series A, right? The family partner funding, whatever. I think uh, it is a challenge day for them. But creating that cash runway, in whatever situation they are in, I think that is going to be the most important. And consolidation and optimization is going to be the key for them.
Right. Right. Great, sir. I think you had given a lot of great inputs to the people to look at in the new normal. To summarize, what is that some of the things, key things which they need to keep in, most important things in the new normal? Maybe that's the thing we will close with that. One of it. Yeah.
So I think most important thing is that one is business orientation and customer orientation in this pandemic is going to be the key,
Hmm.
right? And being resilient is very important. Then synchronous, now plugging those synchronous collaboration is going to be the key, right? And being a key player in being a knowledge partner to the senior management is going to be the key. And in terms of how optimizing the portfolio and brand management is going to be the key, right? So I think at the end of the day, it is all about partnering with the senior leadership team to create new culture, new brand, being a global partner, being a knowledge partner, and giving a global insight. During these times are going to be the key. When you look from a FM point of view in the new normal world. Obviously, by default, environmental safety and hygiene, well-being is going to be the key, because today the workforce will look at the preparedness of the organization in terms of the well-being. That is one which will influence them to come to office. So the normalization preparedness is going to be the key driver.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sridhar, and it's a good insight, and I'm sure it will be helpful for all those firms and the small businesses they are putting in. Thank you very much for being
Thanks, Ram. Thanks for having me, and thanks for your time. And it was a pleasure talking to you once again. And we look forward to connect again. Yeah.
Thank you.